bow down, worship you.
We glorify your name.
We glorify your holy name.
We praise your holy name today.
Blessed be the name of Yah.
We praise you today.
Hallelujah.
We praise you today.
Yahuah, I want to say shalom to you all, mashpaka. It is great to see each and every one of you on this evening. Excited to be here also and looking forward to whatever Yahuah does in our midst on this evening. So without further ado, we're going to get ready to get started. And so family, I want to say shalom to you. Here we go. Yahuah, and indeed it is a baraka to be here with you on this evening. Great to see each and every one of you. We're going to turn our faces toward a set-apart place as we prepare to begin on this evening, family. So we're going to ask for Yahuah's baraka upon this time, and then we're going to go ahead and get started with yet another Foundational Facts Fellowship. It is my hope, it is my prayer on this evening that our fellowship this evening, that the things that we cover, that you'll find them indeed to be a baraka to your being. Allahu Yahuah. And so, family, without further ado, let us pray. I see that I'm already having some issues with Fuse. And so I'm having a tough time sharing through Fuse anything on the screen. So I want to apologize for that here. But we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to ask Yahuah to barak this time, and whatever the adversary might try to do, that certainly that Yahuah would trample that thing. Allahu Yahuah. Praise Yahuah. Abba Yahuah, we thank and praise you for this time, for this opportunity, Yahuah, to be assembled in your great and your awesome, your magnificent name. We give you praise, honor, and esteem. Halal Yahuah. We say, truly you are the highest, Yahuah. You are Allah, the highest. And so we barak your great name. There is truly none like you, Halal Yahuah. And so we give you praise, honor, and esteem. We ask, Yahuah, now that you would strengthen us, that you would revive us, that you would barak us in your word, that we would be encouraged, that we, through your word, would fall in love with you all over again. Praise Yahuah. And so we ask, Yahuah, that you would have your way in our midst on this evening. Father, you know every need, you know every circumstance. We lift them to you. Abba Yahuah, I lift your people to you on this evening. And I pray, Father, that wherever we are scattered, in our own little corners, Father, Abba, I pray that you would be present with us. I pray that your presence would be felt among your people on this evening. Oh, Yahuah, let your great name be esteemed. I pray also that you would continue to open up the eyes of the blind and cause the deaf to hear, cause the blind to see, Yahuah, and may the dumb speak your name. And so we give you praise and honor. Have your way in Yahusha's great name. Amen. Praise Yahuah. Halal Yahuah. Praise Yahuah. Lots of feedback. Okay, let's see. Let me find the source of that, family. Bear with me just a second. I'm going to try to find the source of that feedback. Let's see. Let me know if and when it gets better. I also want to say, okay, so it's good. Akikit said it's good on his end. So you might want to check if you're using YouTube. Aki Ed, if you're using YouTube, make sure that one of those volumes are turned off. If Fuse's audio is on and YouTube audio is on it, you could get that sense of echo coming from me. Or if Facebook echo. Okay. If double check, make sure if you're on Facebook, if you're listening through Facebook or YouTube while you're on Fuse, just make sure anything else that's on, that those audios are turned off, because if not, you will get that echo. Don't know if that's the case, but you know, we figure we start there, right, with the what might most likely be the problem. Hopefully we can get it resolved. What I did was I turned my volume down on the broadcast feed for YouTube, my microphone volume, and so hopefully that will bring some resolve to the issue. But if anyone's having echo, if you're getting some echo, it could be if you're listening, if you're joining in from more than one venue, and if more than one speaker to those venues are on, then you will get that echo effect. Okay? All right. Well, Mashpaka, it is great to see each and every one of you on this evening. I want to take the time to say shalom. Shalom to you all in the awesome name of Yahuah. We greet my Aki Matatyahu. Great to see you, Aki. Aki Keith, it is wonderful to see you, my Aki. I want to say shalom to you. Also to Akut Carmen, greetings to you, Akut. To my Aki Damon, I greet you in the awesome name of Yahuah. Also to Akut Mahalia, wonderful to see you, Akut. Shalom to you. My Aki King Ed, shalom to you, Aki. And also to my Akut Shar, Aki Rab, I say shalom to you, Mashpaka. To Akut Yanat, shalom to you, Akut. Wonderful to see you all. Let me see if I can turn my attention to YouTube. YouTube was a little bit slow loading here on this evening, but let me say shalom to Shante, shalom to you, Akut. We welcome you. If you're, I'm not sure if you're joining us for the first time, but if it is, welcome. If it's not, welcome back. Great to have you with us. Also, I want to say shalom to Akut G. Wonderful to see you, Akut. To Michelle Wells, Aki, I want to say shalom to you. Halal Yahuah. He said, I pray all is well, Mashpaka. All is well, praise Yahuah. And also want to say shalom. Praise Yahuah, praise Yahuah. Akut Shante, she says, hello, I am new in the truth, and these teachings are very encouraging. All praises to Yahuah, Allahu Yahuah. We truly barak Yahuah for you, Akut, and we're excited. We're excited about that. We're excited about that news. We're excited about you being here. That just brings a level of joy to my being, and a reminder that Yahuah is committed to his promise when he said that he promised to awaken his people, and he promised to regather his people, he promised to draw back his people to himself, and that's exactly what's happening. And so, Akut, you're just a reminder of that. Every time we see such a testimony, and we give Yahuah praise, honor, and esteem for that, and for you, and for your zeal, and for your desire for him, and for his truth. Allahu Yahuah. And I like to remind everyone, and in particular people that we family. I'm not going to say people. Family, mashpaka, people of Yasharal, seed of Yasharal, children of Yasharal, that Yahuah afford us the opportunity, and not just opportunity. I want to find a better word. The honor of meeting. I like to remind everyone that truly indeed what we seek is the truth, the whole truth, and absolutely nothing but contextual truth. That's what we seek, the truth, the whole truth, and absolutely nothing but contextual truth. And that's our whole purpose here, family, to seek the truth, the whole truth, and absolutely nothing but the truth. And when you're seeking the truth, then you've got to be willing to have your assumptions and your assertions smashed. You see, and so I also like to say that. Like to remind everyone of the fact that we do not arrive at the truth. We do not arrive at the truth, but in fact we grow in it. We grow in the truth. Nobody arrives at the truth. We grow in the truth. And so we're in the age of awakening, and Yahuah is awakening the people. The prophecy of Ezekiel, Yakazak, the prophecy of Ezekiel, chapter 37, is truly coming to pass. The dry bones awakening in the valley, the great earthquake, the stirring, the shaking, and bones coming together, bone to its bone. And so the prophecy is being fulfilled, and we say, Halal Yahuah, Halal Huyah. We give him praise, honor, and esteem. And so we're just excited and delighted to have you with us on this evening, Akut Shante, and may Yahuah continue to do his great work in your life, and may he work in and through you, and may Yahuah continue to bring his people. May he continue to awaken Yashar'al, Halal Yahuah. And so let me continue on by greeting my Akut Carmen. I believe Akut Carmen is also represented on Infuse, if I recall correctly. Shalom to you there again, Akut, and to everyone listening in whose name, everyone joining us, whose name may not be represented on the screen. For example, here on YouTube. To everyone joining us, if your name isn't on the screen, I don't know you're there, but you're listening. I just want to say shalom to each and every one of you. Shalom to your bayat. Praise Yahuah. May Yahuah truly barak this time. May he barak this fellowship. And may we find a newfound joy in him. Allahu Yahuah. Excited about being here this evening, family. I don't know if you can tell by my voice. I'm just excited. I'm excited about being here. Excited about Yahuah. You see, I'm excited about Yahuah because Yahuah is great. Halal Yahuah. He is great, and he is indeed greatly to be praised. Halal Yah. You see, without Yahuah, whether we realize it or not, whether we recognize it or not, without him we are truly nothing. And not only that, not only without him we're nothing, but without him we are doomed without him. We are doomed without him. Halal Yah. Praise Yahuah. And so we give Yahuah praise, honor, and esteem. Delighted indeed to be here. Well, it's another Foundational Facts Fellowship. And so, family, I have somewhere I could go this evening. We've been talking about the book of Galatians, but I don't want to just jump into that. And even if we go to the book of, if we get to the book of Galatians this evening, what we want to do is we want to rewind. We want to go back. We want to go back to the basics, because one of the things we intend to do is we intend to go over the book of Galatians, because the writings of Yahuah is misunderstood and misrepresented by Christianity and by Christians, right? But not only is it misunderstood and misrepresented by Christianity and Christians, of course it was tainted by Christianity. Okay, they have not just fondled with the writings of Yahuah, but they have fondled all of the writings of Yahuah, all of Yahuah's set apart word. The Christians have tainted and profaned, and so Yahuah is in the process of unveiling, of unmasking, and of stripping away the filth that has been plastered all over His Word. He's in the process of stripping all of it away, washing it away, and revealing His truth to His people, to His true people, to His true people. He is in the process of doing that. So not only have they fondled the word, not only have they molested it in the most grotesque and abominable and detestable ways. They have worked their idolatry and their all kinds of mess in it, but. So it's not just with Yahuah's writings, but certainly they have manipulated, sought to manipulate all of Yahuah's word. And that is why I also like to remind people that the Bible is not the scriptures. The Bible is a corrupted translation of the scriptures, in which the name of the Creator and His people have been removed and replaced with the names of idols and European-sounding names, you see, because they want you to think that the scripture is a European text, that the scriptures came from England, when in fact nothing could be further from the truth, you see. So, much have been done wrong. And so, over the years, so it's not just the Christians, though, that misrepresent Yahuah and misunderstand the writings of Yahuah. You also have people of Yahuah, people who have come out of the church, but they have, the brainwashing of church still kind of remain seated in some ways. And so they have not yet, and it's a process. They have not yet, some will, some won't, but they have not yet truly learned the principles of studying, you see. They continue to do, many of them continue to do what they have seen done in church for all the years that they have been around Christianity. And that is to take the word and to just, instead of studying contextually, and instead of committing themselves to truly becoming knowledgeable of the word, they go in and they take a verse from here and a verse from there, and then they think that they get the full picture. But you can't study like that. You see, you can't study like that. You gotta first consume the whole thing. You see, and before you can then go further to seek and to get further understanding. But you have people who have left the church who still talk about Yahuah, and that Yahuah is a false teacher and so on and so forth. And so the writings of Yahuah is massively misunderstood and misrepresented, and certainly the Christians have had their way with the scriptures. So if we do get to the book of Galatians this evening, we're going to go back to the basics. And what we're going to do with the book of Galatians, before we go into trying to explain anything, understanding anything, before we do any of that, what we intend to do is to begin to read the book from verse 1 of chapter 1 and read it all the way through to the end of chapter 5. Now, it is important to understand and to be reminded of also, Mashpaka, that what are you doing? Oh, I wasn't going to do it like that, but Yeah, but it's important not to no, go ahead. It's important. I lost my train of thought. Sorry. It's important. Yeah. Where was I at? Bear with me here. Yes, so it's important to understand that the scriptures was never written with chapters and verses. Yes, Aki. It's important to understand that the scriptures was never written with chapters and verses. That was never Yahuah in inspiring the writing of his word, the notation of his word. There was never an intent, and the prophets never wrote down the word of Yahuah, the message of Yahuah to his people using chapters and verses. All of that came from Christianity. And because of chapters and verses, not only has it fed misunderstanding, but it has also made us lazy when it comes to the studying of Yahuwah's word. It has made us lazy. So now, what we do is we jump to a book, and then we jump to a chapter, and then we jump to a verse, and then we build a doctrine. Whereas without chapter and verses, if you want to get the message of the letter, because that's what they are, they're letters, without chapters and verses, if we wanted to truly get the message of the letter, then what we would do is automatically we would be compelled to read the letter from beginning to end to get the message of the letter. But what chapters and verses did, it gave us the idea that we can start in the middle of the letter, read just a couple sections from the letter, and somehow get an understanding of the letter. It's much, that would be like going to the movies while the movie was halfway through, and then sitting down, maybe watching 15 minutes of the movie, getting up and then coming out and tell somebody that you saw the movie and that you got the whole message of the movie, you know everything about the movie. And you know what's crazy? I don't know of any person who would go to a movie, pay their money to go to a movie, and the movie is already halfway through, and then decide to pay and still go watch the movie. They'd say, you know what, I'll catch that movie another time. You know? But yet when it comes to the word of Yahuah, people freely jump into the middle of it, stay in there for 30 seconds, jump out, and then claim that they know everything. And that, unfortunately, is the problem that plagues many of us today. So if we do get to the book of Galatians on this evening, family, we're not going to jump in the middle. We're not going to look at one or two verses and then begin to expound on anything. What we're going to do is we're going to take studying back to its basics. And you see, when we study the scriptures, there's something important about studying the scriptures. We know the importance of asking who, what, where, when, how, why, so on and so forth. As a matter of fact, you look at your screen, the banner that's currently on your screen for Foundational Facts Fellowship on Fuse, and I'm putting it on YouTube. If you look at your screen, you'll notice the question mark is made up of these words. Who, what, where, when, why, how, to whom, of whom, by whom, so on and so forth. When you study, these are important questions for us to ask. Who, what, where, when, why, how, to whom, by whom, of whom, for whom, so on and so forth. These are important questions for us to ask. But before you can begin to ask those questions, you've got to have some kind of knowledge of the subject matter, right? You've got to have some kind of knowledge of the subject matter. You cannot ask questions about something that you know nothing about. You see? You've got to at least get some basic knowledge of the thing that you want to question. And then from there, questions, the intent of questions is to gain deeper knowledge, deeper understanding. You see? But you cannot begin by asking, listen, if you don't know that an airplane exists, how you going to ask about an airplane? You won't ask about an airplane if you don't know it exists. So before you can even begin to ask questions about airplane, you got to at least first know that it exists. You see? And there are certain basic things that you would have known about airplane. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you saw a picture of the airplane and it was sitting on the ground and you didn't know that that the thing actually gets off the ground and soars through the sky. Maybe you didn't know that, and so you say, well, what is this? What is this airplane? What is this thing? Somebody says it's an airplane. Well, what does it do? And somebody says, well, it carry passengers. Well, how does it do that? Well, the people, they get seated inside, and then it taxis down the runway and it takes off and it travels through the air from point A to point B, and it gets you there much faster than traveling in a car or in a train or so on and so forth. But for you to begin to ask questions about any subject matter, then you need to at least have some kind of basic knowledge about that subject, and then from there you can build on that knowledge. You see? So when it comes to studying the scriptures, the point that I'm trying to make is, when it comes to studying the scriptures, we need to gain some kind of basic knowledge of the scriptures. Now, how do you do that? You do that by simply reading. Now, reading is not the same as studying, even though studying involves reading. And so our approach to studying is that we're going to read. We're going to read. Ready? Read. Right? So our first approach is to read. Right? And then as we read, what we're seeking to do is we're seeking to gain certain basic knowledge. And when you study a thing, it's important to read and reread. Because in your first reading, I assure you, you will miss some stuff. In your second reading, you will see some stuff that you missed, but more than likely, you will miss some other stuff. Even though you read it, it didn't stand out to you quite as it should. Maybe you got to read it another 3 or 4 times, or maybe even more than that. And the more you read, the more you become familiar. Because every time you read, you gain something else, and something else stand out to you. You see, so the first step to studying, to real study, is reading, becoming familiar with the subject matter. So when we go to the book of Galatians, if we get to it on this evening, that's what we're going to do. Read. Okay? We're going to read. All right? So, but we're not going to go there quite yet. What I'm going to do here, Mashpaka, is I want to open up the microphone to see if there are any questions on this evening, in particular for Foundational Facts Fellowship. I want to open up the mic to that before we go to Galatians. But you know what? Before I do have something here that I need to tend to very quickly. Okay, so I'm gonna put a song on very quickly, and then I'm gonna come back and want to see if anyone have any questions or any comments on this evening for Foundational Facts Fellowship that you would like to share or to ask. And so bear with me. I'm going to put a song on very quickly, and then we're going to come back and then come back to the mic. Okay? All right. So bear with me here. Here we go.
Sovereign one, ancient of days, tumshukuru leo
back. Allahu Yahuah. Okay, again, want to say shalom to everyone. Wonderful to see you. Shalom to you, Aki. I see what you said there about what we were talking about. I think it was might have been the week before last. It was Aki when we were talking about the garden and on the subject of Malak, the messengers. And so, yeah, we certainly, I don't remember where we had gotten with that conversation, but that's something perhaps that we can pick up at another time. That subject matter kind of ties into the questions concerning the book of Hanuk. Also, as some people, there are people out there who say the book of Hanuk it's not a scripture because it talk about, in particular, one of the main things it talk about is the statute of the servants and them being laying with the daughters of men. How is that possible? So on and so forth. The subject of the garden and all of that kind of ties into that, and so maybe one things we will do for a foundational facts fellowship is kind of take that up and deal with deal with it in more in depthly, right? So to the Aki for that reminder, and I think what I'll do is I'll work on putting a study together where we can go into more details concerning that. All right, let me go to Aki Al Yahu. Shalom Aki, please go ahead. And also to you, Aki King Ed, for notifying me of that.
Shalom, Africa.
Shalom Aki, shalom.
Yeah, I was gonna allow you to go. I was thinking that you were gonna go to YouTube first, and I was like, did I raise my flag too fast? Okay, I'll go with the question. Well, I'm not sure if this is real, if this lines up or anything with the scripture, but is there any place in the scripture where but between the servants of Yahuah, I guess when it comes to confirmation or anything like that, that Yahuah will, I don't know if it's the right word, so I'm just gonna throw it out there, that he has some type of telepathy or something like that between the servants or anything like that. And I was gonna ask at it like in the two part, or or between the servants of Yahuah, is it usually come in like a dream or something? Because maybe I'm thinking more so of a dream, but I don't know if telepathy has anything at all to do with Yahuah at all. So I'm just gonna ask the question like that, and if it rolls over into it being a dream instead, then that'll work. But that's the question I have, because I guess when it comes to confirming things, I guess between the servants of Yahuwah, I guess whether it be whether it be the people as a whole or just between two individuals, it can either be, I guess, telepathy, or it can be a dream. Example in the scripture where Yahuwah, I guess, confirms or reveals something that way. I guess it's called telepathic. I'm not sure,
Yeah.
or through a dream. So that's my question, and I will release the mic.
Okay, to the Aki, as you were speaking, what I did was I went ahead and pull up the word telepathy on dictionary.com because it's interesting. It's a word that I've never really looked at the origin of the word before, but as you raised the question, it made me think about the origin of it, to look at the origin of it. Now, what's called telepathy, and I'm going to read the official definition from the dictionary. But what people call telepathy is where, for example, you have there is this mental, and some people might say spiritual connection between two individuals or so. or a sensory connection, so to speak, between two individuals or so. Now, I'm gonna. I was watching a science program one time, and they were explaining in this program how instances or circumstances why these things occur in different circumstances. I'm going to talk, let me try to make this a little bit more clearer. So, for example, one example of what's called telepathy would be if you are sitting somewhere, right? You're sitting somewhere, minding your own business, and all of a sudden you feel as if, even though you might be sitting reading a book, but suddenly you feel as if somebody's looking at you. You raise your head from the book you're reading, you look to the side, and you notice somebody is in fact looking at you, right? Or you might be somewhere and you sense that you didn't hear anything, but you sense that somebody just walked up behind you. You looked, and there it is, somebody's behind you. That's one form of what they call telepathy. Another form is where I've seen a video one time of these two guys. They're twins, and they're dancing, and every move one make, the other one make it, and they say it's telepathy, but I don't think in their case at all it's telepathy. It's just that they practice together, and they kind of learn to pick up on each other's moves. So as one's beginning to make a move, the other one flows right into it. Now, for people looking on who is not accustomed to seeing them practice and everything like that, it looks like they're just doing this and it like no planning whatsoever, and it's just happening. But I believe it's just that they've learned to work together to such an extent that they pick up on each other's move. It's almost like somebody saying that, you two people are so close that the other one could finish the other one's statement or something like that, right? Now, for me, when it comes to that idea of telepathy, for example, when somebody's sitting near, you're sitting near, and somebody looks at you, or you're in your car, and you sense somebody's looking at you, you look over and they're looking at you. I believe that there is a connection in creation, because we're all connected, and the scriptures bear this out. We're all connected. We're connected to the earth. We're connected to our environment. We are connected to creation. As a matter of fact, the same materials that make up creation makes us up. You see, and the same. And I'm gonna use the terminology scientific energy, because I don't want to give the idea that I'm talking about some kind of weird energy, spiritual energy. So I'm going to use the terminology scientific energy, because energy flows through our bodies, right? The earth is magnetic, and that magnetism flows through your body. That's how you have static energy that flows through you and stuff like that, that you can touch something, and if the conditions are right, you can start a fire just by touching something, so we have this connection to creation, and hence we do have this connection to each other. And so our senses somewhat relate, sense relate to sense, so to speak. And so we have instances where somebody might be looking at you, and you sense that somebody's looking at you. You turn and look, and they're looking at you, and then they turn their head very quickly, or whatever the case might be. So that does exist. But let's look at the definition of telepathy, and then I'm going to come to the question as far as whether or not Yahuah in dealing with the messengers, if it's done through some form of telepathy, or or in dreams, or whatever the case is. And Aki, I want to make sure that I understand the question clearly. So you're speaking about the messengers sent by Yahuah, and of course, messengers is not limited to beings of Shamayim, but messengers also in the scriptures, from the perspective of scriptures, messenger also speak about the servants of Yahuah in the earth, doing Yahuah's work in the earth. Regular men like you and I doing Yahuah's work, they're messengers, malak of Yahuah, right? And so, for example, in the book of Revelation, the thing that where Christianity have our heads messed up when it comes to the book of Revelation, where it talks about, in the translation, it says, to the angel of the church in Smyrna write, to the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, to the angel of the church in this write, Sardis write, and so on and so forth. And in reality, it's not saying, the writing isn't saying to the angel write, it's saying to the messenger of the assembly, not the church, write. To the servant of the assembly, right? That's what it's saying. And who is that servant? Who is that messenger? The leader of the assembly. You see, the man raised up by Yahuah to lead his people, not some winged creature, not some angel that comes from Greek mythology. You see, but things like that Christianity uses to mess up our perception and our understanding of the scriptures. All right, just let's look at some basic definitions for the word telepathy. They said the way you pronounce it is telepathy, and they say that's the pronunciation for it. I say telepathy, okay, because it's spelled telepathy, but they say you pronounce it telepathy, and that's American English. And you must understand, American English is even different from England English, and American English is different from a lot of Englishes. With American English, you can have a hard time learning to spell, because the way you say things ain't the way they're spelled in many cases, you know. So it's a different kind of English. So they say you say telepathy, okay? Now, communication between minds by some means other than sensory perception. So they say, and this is what some people believe, telepathy or telepathy, as they say, is communication between minds by some means other than sensory perception. What this is saying, so when you feel like somebody's looking at you, and you turn around and they are in fact looking at you, there is a communication between the minds taking place, but it's not rooted in anything sensory, okay? And the word sensory here, we have to understand that they use the word sensory in the sense that sensory relates to an actual touch, feeling. So what they're saying is that this communication takes place without actual touching, hearing, smelling, tasting, or feeling, you know. But this communication takes place, and so you are made aware of the presence of this person. Okay, so that's the main definition that they give. Now, to get to the question, and that is probably the only definition that they give, right? Now let me look at the no, here's another one, and they have the word cycle here. The communication between people of thoughts, feelings, desires, etc., involving mechanisms that cannot be understood in terms of known scientific laws, also called thought transference. Now that goes kind of in line with the question that you asked the key. So that would be, some people would call it when thought is transferred. For example, when thought is transferred from Yahuah to another being, I guess they would give it the definition telepathy. I don't remember the way it's said the other way. It would be called telepathy. Now, I don't know if I'd call it telepathy. I'd call it Yahuah speaking, you know. Now, of course, it comes from the origin is Greek. Pathia, feeling, perception. Okay, so the origin of it is it's a Greek word, and it's of course tele means to carry, right? Is basically what the word tele. What's a better definition for tele? Um, it's a communication. Uh, what we would call prefix, carried communication or something like that. I don't remember the exact word, but what they say here is that it's rooted in feelings or perception, and it's a Greek word. Now, to answer the question, Aki, I think that Yahuwah communicates, not think, but based on what I read in the scriptures. We know that Yahuwah communicate with his servants, with his people, through speech, through dreams, and through signs, right? We know that Yahuwah communicates with his servants and with his people through speech, through dreams, and through signs. And so I wouldn't go to the point of calling it telepathic communication. I just call it Yahuwah speaking to his people, you know. And so Yahuwah spoke to Yahu. He speak to the messengers, you know, and there are times when he will speak verbally, or he will send signs, or he will speak through dreams and visions, you know. But whether or not I would label it as telepathic communication, I'm not so I'm not so keen on that. Yahuwah does give us a sense of knowing also. He speaks through Yahuwah also communicate to us in ways that he gives you a sense of knowing. You know, sometimes Yahuwah causes you, he reveals things to you, causes you to know something, but to explain to somebody how you know, you just cannot explain it. You can't explain how you know, you just know, you know. And that's Yahuwah revealing things to his people. The wisdom of Yahuwah, indeed. You know, the wisdom of Yahuwah. You see, so he also communicate in that way. Whether or not to call it all telepathic communication, I'm not so sure about it. I don't know a key. So I don't know if I answered the question, but I hope if not, then, and if I misunderstood the question, please let me know a key.
Yeah, kid, that's pretty clear. I was just trying to figure it out. I didn't understand like the whole telepath. It was just a word that I came across. Like actually, I came across it yesterday, but I just couldn't understand. I couldn't put it together. But Yahuwah's words is definitely the right way of putting it. So, tada for that, and shalom.
Yeah, shalom, tada, Aki. They also have telepathic medicine, right? Which how that works, I don't really know either. All right. Anyway, tada, Aki, for raising that question. Let me go to Aki Keith. Aki, go ahead, Aki.
Shalom, Aki.
Hey, shalom, Aki.
I just want to make a great comment.
Yes.
This is something that I tried last week. This past week, I tried this, to help myself.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering, how do I draw closer to Yahuwah, right?
Yes.
And so I'm like, okay, how do you draw closer? I understand you read, you study the word, but there has to be another way.
Yes.
Of course, Yahuwah already got it laid out so simple. Sometimes we read it but then we just go over it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so, and what came back to me was when he was talking to Joshua, when he said, "This book of the law should not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate in it day and night,
Yes, sir.
and that you may observe to do according to all that is written in it, for then you'll make your way prosperous, then you have good success."
Yes, sir.
So what I did this past week, I said, you know what I'm going to do? It's like working out. You know, you go to the gym, you work out, you might get sore, but you continue, the body eventually grows, right?
Yes.
So what I did this past week was, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I said, I'm going to meditate day and night. I said, I don't care what I am doing. I'm going to make sure that I am focused on the word of Yahuah. And I'm going to tell you something, because it's the first time in my life that I actually tried this, right?
Yes.
I understood what Yahuah said when he said, perfect love casts out fear. Because when you're meditating in his word, it's like a ball hitting the wall. Everything will bounce off because this thing that you are building is so great, nothing can get through it. And so Yahuah got the blueprint. And we meditate day and night, no matter what we're doing, if we just focus on him, you know, just like a man meet a woman, you know what, he'll focus on her. He don't care if you're working 28 hours. He's going to focus on her 28 hours. He'll take her out. How much more is the word of Yahuah? And so, you know, I use that for myself, and I say, you know what? There is so much shalom in the word of Yahuah that one cannot even comprehend. Because when things come against you, it doesn't even faze you. Yes, you know, it may be a problem, but you know what? That problem doesn't bother you because this word is so high up that the problem is so far down. And so I just want to share with the house that, you know, I tried it and I'm going to continue to do it. And maybe this may be helpful for someone else. All praise to Yahuah. Hallelujah.
Yeah, that's a word right there, Aki. Praise Yahuah. Praise Yahuah. Indeed, that's a word right there. And so, you know, let me repeat something very important that you said there, Aki. You said you wanted to know how to get closer to Yahuah. And even though you read it, you never quite got it. But yet the answer was there all along. The book of Yahusha, what they call Joshua, chapter 1, verse 8. Do not let this book of Torah depart from your lips, but you shall meditate on it day and night. And then I will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. In that process, that's how you get closer to Yahuah, because you're meditating on his word day and night. And as you get closer to Yahuah, you're growing in perfect love, which perfect love is his love. And as you grow in that perfect love, nothing fears you. You see? As you grow closer to Yahuah, you don't fear death. You don't fear what any man or anything will do to you. Because as you grow closer to Yahuah, growing closer to Yahuah is gaining greater knowledge of Yahuah, seeing Yahuah more for who he is. And the more we see Yahuah, the more we realize the greatness of Yahuah and how the enemy and our problems and our situations pale in comparison to Yahuah. That's an awesome word, Aki. Tuda Rabbah for sharing that. I certainly needed that reminder. And praise Yahuah. Tuda Rabbah. That was an awesome word. Tuda for sharing. Tuda. All right, let me go. You got to share some more sometimes, Aki. Let me go to Aki Damon. Please go ahead, Aki.
Allahu Yahuwah Masbika.
Allahu Yahuwah. Shalom, Aki.
Shalom, Aki. Aki King, that was awesome. That was awesome because I can recall first coming into this truth, being on fire, just constantly, like you just said, just meditating on it. I mean, I couldn't help myself. I was a fiend. And the worries, the cares of this world has a way of getting in the way, so to speak. Me, me not getting to the gym, like he keeps saying, not working out, not meditating on the word. So that was definitely. I mean, I heard him all the way. I heard him all the way. Um, but I was posed this question, um, King Michael, as far as Yahusha, uh, and this is what I believe, and maybe it's something that I just missed. That he came to Miriam um, through Miriam as a miracle. Um, but then a quote brings forth some to my attention, and it never dawned on me how he is the seed of David and so on and so forth. So actually, I just wanted for you to expound on that, Aki, because I'm just like, okay, so was it physical or was it? And I know with Yahuah, all things are possible. So even if whichever way it went, it really doesn't matter. I mean, it matters, but it doesn't matter. However, he seemed to choose to do it, But it just never dawned on me that yes, he was the seed of um, exactly, and uh, and again, um, that was a great question by King Willie as well. Yes. So shalom, shalom, Ashikar. I love you. And if you can expound on that, Akia, that would be great. Appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. Happy to, Aki, because I'm glad that you brought up that question also because of all the confusion that is tossed around by people who are either anti Mashiach or do not understand or missed some stuff in the scriptures that lays out the lineage of Mashiach and do not understand how it is that Yahuah brought himself through the loins of a woman in order to redeem his people back to himself. So, as you pointed out there, Aki, rightfully so, the scriptures tells us, and in fact, that Mashiach is from the seed of Dahoud. But how is that? Now, because we read that in the scriptures, people who are against the fact that Yahuah placed himself in the womb of a woman, right? Yahuah placed himself as a seed in the womb of a woman and came forth. Those who are against that fact, but they do profess belief in a Mashiach, what they say is that the Mashiach was not Yahuah placing himself in the seed of a woman, in the womb of a woman, and being brought forth in that manner, but instead that the fact that the scriptures tells us that Mashiach is from the lineage of Dahoud, that is evidence that Mashiach was the natural born son of Yahusha and Mariam. In other words, that Mashiach was just another human being like you and I, and that he was the son of Yahusha, who they call Joseph, right? Then they take a text out of context. I believe it's in Deuteronomy chapter 18, where they often is a passage that they would normally use. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can pull that up real quickly. Okay, let me see if I can put that one on the screen very quickly. Dabarim, Deuteronomy chapter 18. Let me go there very quickly, see if I can find it. Deuteronomy 18. Dabarim chapter 18. All right, let's see if we can get to it here. All right, in Dabarim chapter 18, they take one verse, this one verse out of context. Let's see if I can find the exact verse. It's been a while since I dealt with the subject, so let me see if I can find the verse that they would normally take out of context. Shall raise up. All right, verse 15. Dabarim chapter 18 and verse 15. Okay, it says, and they say that this is speaking about Mashiach. And it says, Yahuah your Elohim shall raise up for you a prophet like me. And they dwell on that right there. They dwell on that right there. Like me. They dwell on this right here. All right. Okay, I'm going to read it, then I'll point out to you what they dwell on. Yahuah your Elohim shall raise up for you a prophet like me from your midst. They dwell on this right here. Like me from your midst. From your brothers. From your brothers. Okay? Yahuah your Elohim shall raise up for you a prophet like me from your brothers. Listen to him. Okay? They say this is speaking about Mashiach. They take this one verse and they say this is speaking about Mashiach, and this validates when the scripture says that Mashiach is from the line of Dawood, because the only way that Mashiach can be from the line of Dawood is if in fact he was a natural man like you and I. And so by him being a natural man like you and I, and he is the prophet that Yahuah said was going to raise up, but this prophet which will be considered a Mashiach, that he will be like me. Now, who is the me that is speaking? The me here would be Masha speaking. So they say that prophet, that Mashiach would be like Masha, and that he would come from among the people. And so Mashiach is no other than a regular human being. Now there are several problems with that. There are several problems with this. Now you go on down. If you skip down, now let me point out the problems with this, and then we'll read on a little bit more. There are several problems with this. Number one, if in fact, if this is speaking about Mashiach, a Mashiach that would be, and that this Mashiach was going to be just a regular man like you and I. By the way, let me point out that there are many Mashiachs in the scriptures. There are many Mashiachs in the scriptures, many deliverers to Yasharal. Yahuah over the millennia have sent many generations, many Mashiach to deliver his people. Okay, so there are many Mashiachs in the scriptures, but there is only one Yahuah HaMashiach. There's only one Yahuah HaMashiach. There are many Mashiachs, but there's only one Yahuah, our Redeemer. Okay? But if in fact this is speaking about Mashiach, which some people say, pointing to the fact that and saying that he is from the line of Dawood, if in fact that this is speaking about the Mashiach, as they say, then there's a problem with that. It means then, because now they believe in the Mashiach, and they also believe that the Mashiach this Mashiach that they are speaking of here came and shed his blood for the redemption of the people. But this Mashiach is not Yahuah. That he is just a regular man like you and I. Now what that would be, what would that be? What would that make this Mashiach to Yahuah? That would make him a human sacrifice to Yahuah. That would make him an absolute human sacrifice. In other words, Yahuah set a principle that if you want to be forgiven for your transgression, just go find another human being and hang him on a tree. And your transgressions will be forgiven because you sacrificed another human on your behalf. Where do we find this belief? Where do we find this kind of belief? We find it in all pagan religions. We find it in all pagan religions. You can look throughout history, you can look throughout time, and you will find that people believe that when there are natural disasters, then quote unquote the gods are mad, and so to appease the gods, you know what, we got to go find us one like us, and we got to take him to the volcano, we got to throw him in. We got to take him to the ocean, we got to throw him in. We got to put him on the altar, we got to cut his throat, or whatever the case might be. Human sacrifice. So you look at the Indians, the Incas, the Mayas, the Indian tribes and other peoples throughout time. That's their belief. You even look at today. You look at some of these secret societies today. They still believe and practice these things, right? The sacrifice of human beings to appease their mighty ones, and that they may receive power from their mighty ones. So that's the idea. So if somebody believed that this prophet being spoken of here in the book of Dabarim, which would come from among the people, that this is the Mashiach, then that's not according to the scriptures. And the reason why they believe this is that they miss an important portion of scripture. And I'm going to talk about that portion of scripture momentarily. But before I talk about that, let me continue in this text for a little bit. Because you see, context is our best friend. Remember, earlier I said that what we seek is the truth, the whole truth, and absolutely nothing but the contextual truth. You see, a lot of people will profess that they have the truth. You see? And you listen to them without questioning anything. It may sound like truth. But the question is it truth according to who? Is it truth according to them, or is it truth according to context? You see, so we see contextual truth, right? So if we follow the context, follow the text to gain the context, then we will gain contextual truth, right? So looking at this text in front of us currently, what we see is that we know, and now I didn't start at the beginning of the book of Dabarim, but we do know that this is Masha speaking. If we should back up, we know that this is Masha speaking. At the beginning of the book of Dabarim, Yahuah spoke to Masha, his servant, right? And he commanded Masha to lead his people out of Matzrayim and into the promised land. Now, here Yahuah is revealing to Masha what he's going to do next. Okay, because Masha's time is coming to an end. And so Yahuah says to Masha that I am going to raise up a prophet like you from among your brothers. Okay? Now if we remember anything about the scriptures, then we will remember the prophet that came right after Masha, right? Who was that prophet that Yahuah rose up right after Masha, family? Who was that prophet? What was his name that Yahuah rose up like Masha from among his brothers. His name was Yahusha. They call him Joshua, right? His name was Yahusha. They call him Joshua. Yahusha, the son of Nun. Yahusha, the son of Nun. That's who Yahuah rose up. This is not Yahusha, the Mashiach. But he was a picture of the Mashiach to come, right? But he was not the Mashiach. So Yahuah rose up Yahusha. And so he rose up another man just like them. Yahusha, the son of Nun, was not the Mashiach, even though that's what some people say and point to him being from the line of Dahoud or Yasha, Jesse, as they say. Now, Yahuah your Elohim shall raise up for you a prophet like me from your midst, from your brothers. Listen to him. Listen to him. According to all you asked of Yahuah your Elohim in Harab, in the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear again the voice of Yahuah my Elohim. Watch this now. So the people said, when they came to the mount, when Yahuah was about to give them the 10 bar, when they saw the cloud and the fire, and they heard the thundering, they begged Masha and they said, please, Masha, tell him we don't want to talk to him directly. We do not want to have to face him directly. So by all means, do not talk to us directly. Talk to us through somebody. But do not talk to us directly. And this is what Yahuah is going back to here. According to all you asked of Yahuah your Elohim in Horeb, in the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear again the voice of Yahuah my Elohim, nor let me see this great fire any more, lest I die. This is what the people said. And Yahuah said to me, what they have spoken is good. Okay, what they have spoken is good. I shall raise up for them a prophet like you out of the midst of their brothers, and I shall put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak to them all that I command him. Who is this prophet? This prophet is Yahusha, the son of Nun. This is not a scripture speaking about the Mashiach. You see, this is the prophet that was going to come after Masha, and that is Yahusha, the son of Nun. And it shall be, the man who does not listen to my words, which he speaks in my name, I require it of him. Now, Yahuah is going to go on and to point out the frailty, the possible frailty of this man, this prophet, because he is just another human being. So this is what Yahuah warned the people. But the prophet who presumes to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or who speaks in the name of other mighty ones, even that prophet shall die. So, just in case this prophet come along and begin to speak a word in my name that I've not spoken, he shall die. If he begin to speak in the name of other mighty ones, he shall die. Or even if he don't, the way you're going to know whether or not it's the true prophet or a false prophet is whether or not he speaks a word from me that I did not speak, or if one comes saying that he's the true prophet and speaks in the name of another mighty one, that one is a false prophet and he shall die. As a matter of fact, it's not just he shall die. The command was he must be put to death. And when you say in your heart, so today people make a light thing about speaking in the name of Jesus, God, the Lord, and every other thing that they use. They make a light thing about it. Some people don't see any big deal with it. Yahuah says, if a prophet comes speaking in the name of any other mighty one, that one shall die. As a matter of fact, more directly speaking, what he said is that one must be put to death, is what he said to the people of Yasharal. So it was not a light thing for anyone to come speaking in the name of an idol. But today there are some who think that it's no big deal. They're still talking about Yahuah. They're just saying Jesus. They're saying God. They're saying the Lord. But they're talking about Yahuah. No, you're not. Because Yahuwah's name is not Jesus. Yahuwah's name is not God. Yahuwah's name is not the Lord. You see. And so it's not the same. Yahuah says, this is the way you know a false prophet. If he comes speaking in any other name, if he speaks in the name of any other mighty ones, or if he comes saying that I said something that I didn't say, you know that he's a false prophet, and he shall die. Okay? Verse 21. And when you say in your heart, how do we know the word of which Yahuah has not spoken? How do we, when you say, Yasharal, when you say, how do we know the word which Yahuah has not spoken? What if the man come to us and told us Yahuah says this? I mean, what are we to do? We weren't there. We can only take him at his word, right? Yahuah says, no, I got a fix for that. And when you say in your heart, how do we know the word which Yahuah has not spoken? When the prophet speaks in the name, this is Yahuwah's response to that question. When the prophet speaks in the name of Yahuah, and the word does not come to pass, it does not come to pass, that is the word which Yahuah has not spoken. If the word does not come to pass, that is a word Yahuah has not spoken. Simple. The prophet has spoken it presumptuously. Do not be afraid of him. You know, there are a whole lot of people. I mean, just in a short few years, I've seen a lot of people talking about Yahuah, or talking about calling themselves Hebrew Israelites, or whatever they call themselves, and they're making all kinds of prophecies. As a matter of fact, just in this last election season, I see people with a whole bunch of videos up on YouTube saying that Yahuah tell them stuff that's going to happen during the conventions and election and after election and all this stuff, putting Yahuwah's name to this stuff, and none of it came to pass. They say Yahuah said it. Yahuah told them this. Yahuah revealed this to them, and yet none of it came to pass. Now what did they do? They just act like they never said it. Now they're moving on, still preaching, right? Still proclaiming. Thus says Yahuah, this, that, and proclaiming. So they're proclaiming Yahuwah's word, you see. But what does Yahuah say about that? What does Yahuah say? When the prophet speaks in the name of Yahuah, and the word does not come to pass, that is the word which Yahuah has not spoken. The prophet has spoken it presumptuously. In other words, the prophet, the so-called prophet, has lied to you. Do not be afraid of him. He is a false prophet. Okay? That's what Yahuah says. Now, so let's get back to this. So people use this text, take it out of context. They use verse 15 out of context to say that this is speaking about the Mashiach. And the reason why they do that is to make the point that the Mashiach is just another human being like you and I. But what is the problem with that again, family? The problem with that is that he's just another human being like you and I. And if he's just another human being like you and I, then that means that you can go kill somebody else for your transgressions. If you sinned against Yahuah, no problem, no big deal. You go kidnap somebody off the street and do whatever you want to do to him. Offer him up as a sacrifice for yourself. That's the message that would convey, if that is so. But this is not talking about the Mashiach. Okay? So, yes, the Mashiach is of the line of Dawood. So how is that? How is that if he is not a regular human being? Well, you see, family, you see the story of Ruth in the scriptures. It's not just there just to be there. It's not just to tell you a nice story where about Ruth and Naomi. It's more than that. That's the link. That's what link the set apart Yahuah to the lineage of Dawood. You see? The story of Ruth and Naomi, it's a picture of redemption and adoption. It's a picture of redemption and adoption, or redemption through adoption. Okay? And so, sometimes I get the names mixed up. But Naomi or Ruth was an outsider, you see. And the only way that she could become a part of the set apart people was through a kinsman redeemer. A kinsman redeemer. And that kinsman redeemer was Boaz. Okay? That kinsman redeemer was Boaz. That goes back to the law in Torah that says that if a man marries a wife and that one bears no children, then his kin was to take that woman, right? And raise up seed to his brother. Now, Boaz became the kinsman redeemer. And by him doing so, Ruth was brought in to the lineage of Dawood. And in that way, Mashiach, Yahuah, came down through the lineage of Ruth, going all the way back to what's her name? Over there in Yaraku, over there in Jericho. The harlot, you see. But that's how Mashiach comes through the lineage of Dawood. When we study the story of Ruth, you see, that does not make him a regular human being, because Ruth did not come into the lineage of Dawood through natural birth, natural bloodline, but she was redeemed into the bloodline, you see. And then Yahuah came through that bloodline. In other words, manifested himself through that bloodline by placing himself in the womb of the descendant of Ruth and coming forth to redeem his people in that way. So that's a quick summary of how that went, Aki, and the connection there between Mashiach and the lineage of Dawood. That's just a quick summary of that.
Yes, Toda Key, I'm following you. So the question is also, and I guess the question still stands, that the whole story with the messengers coming to the husband, coming to the husband of Miriam. And I know one of the things that and like you said, Key, with reading the Bible, and we take things with a grain of salt, and part of studying, and this is also what I'm learning. Part of studying is first even studying the everything. It's not just, it's everything.
Yes.
We think that we are just studying for just the truth, but to find the truth, we have to study everything so we can discern the truth from the lies. And so I hear you when you say that we have to take the Bible with a grain of salt. So what I'm asking is, and with this question, I know that is my duty to study for myself as well. But I guess, just for a tad of instant gratification, if you will. Um, so the messages did come to the husband
Yeah. So
of
yeah,
Murray
yeah, to the yeah,
because of I'm sorry, okay, because of the accusations that she was because he was supposedly furious with her and all of this.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it seemed plausible, and again, as you just stated, that especially when it comes to the new writings, we have to be careful and we take things with a grain of salt. But that's an instance that seemed very plausible, given the situation. It seemed very plausible that Yahuwah uh, it, found it necessary. Because imagine this. Imagine your wife coming to you telling you that she's pregnant, but she hadn't been with nobody. She hadn't been with another man, right? In my situation, Yahuwah is going to have to step in, and he's going to have to step in quick, because I'm going to ask her, what you talking about, Willis? You see, I ain't going to buy it. So Yahuwah is going to have to step in real fast. You see, and I'm sure, Yahusha being the brother he was, you know, I'm sure he had the same kind of thinking like I had, and so Yahuwah had to step in and had to talk to him, and so Yahuwah appeared to him in a dream, and he spoke to him, you see, concerning his Asha. You see, so it seemed, given the situation, it seemed very plausible. I have no reason to doubt that unfolding. Now, again, why would I believe? Why would I believe that Yahuwah came in the form of flesh through the loins of a virgin? Why would I believe that? There are several reasons why I would believe that. Why don't I believe that that's just something made up by Christianity? Well, there are several reasons. Because you see, all throughout Torah and the prophets, Yahuwah has been prophesying to the generations of Yasharal that he was going to come and that he was going to redeem his people. That's not a so-called New Testament thing. Yahuwah has been saying that ever since the beginning, after mankind fell. Yahuwah said that he was going to come and that he was going to redeem his people. And throughout the scriptures, we have seen where Yahuwah has manifested himself in the form of flesh time and time and time again. So you have people out there who say that nowhere in the scriptures do you see Yahuwah presenting himself in the form of man. And I say that anybody who says that, it just goes to show that they're ignorant to the scriptures. They have not read the scriptures. They just jump up teaching stuff, but yet they don't even know what they're teaching. They're not familiar with the subject matter. They have not even gone as far as reading the subject matter. They have not gone as far as reading the scriptures. They're just talking. You see? They're just talking. But nobody, absolutely nobody, could have taken any time reading the scriptures and then walk away and say to another person that you can find nowhere in the scriptures where Yahuwah have ever presented himself in the form of man, taking on flesh and looking like man. The only place that you find that is in the New Testament. Nobody can honestly say that, you see. Or if they are saying it honestly, they have not honestly studied. You see, they are saying it out of ignorance. So knowing that Yahuwah has promised time and time again that he would manifest himself to redeem his people, long before the Christians came along and even manipulated stuff and added and take away from the so-called New Testament, the new writings. Long before then, Yahuwah has been making this promise that he would do this. And so because of that, and knowing that nothing is impossible for Yahuwah to do, and I have no issue believing that he did fulfill his word, came and redeem his people. That the Mashiach that was hung, that he was no other
Absolutely.
he was no other than Yahuah fulfilling his promise to his people.
Absolutely. Toda, Key. Appreciate you, Key. Allow you.
Allahu
Toda,
Yahuwah.
toda.
Praise Yahuwah. Praise Father. Aki, please go ahead, Aki Al Yahu. Are you there, Aki?
Alright, shalom again.
Shalom, Aki. Shalom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, oh, well, first off, I want to give honor to Yahuwah. I got to give him all the esteem and all the praise. And I guess I don't know where to start with this one, but since this has been happening for like the past 9 months, I think it's about time to bring it out since I kind of got a confirmation about it, but it's kind of like I don't have confirmation about it, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. All right, now since September of 2016, there has been a person that's been popping up in my mind and it's just been and their name, their face, they just been appearing just like I guess you could say randomly for like the past 9 months. And a video that kind of spoke to me about that, even though he's probably speaking from a carnal sense, is how to know if someone is constantly thinking about you. And also, there's also a video talking about why can't you stop thinking about this person. So, and I guess the strange thing is, this person just, I don't know, I don't know how to explain it. And the thing about it is, I prayed about it. I was like, who is this like a I don't know. Am I dealing with a spell? Am I dealing with a curse of some type of sort or whatever? But I can't shake it at all. Just I guess to just I can't push it off me. There's no way of pushing it off me. It's just like okay, well this person's always on my mind. They just keep on. But the thing about it is it's not like it's not like no night terror. Like oh my goodness, I'm waking up with like I'm sweating and stuff or I'm having any type of issues or anything like that. No, I'm not. It's not like the thoughts are coming up like bad or anything. It's just this person always pops up. I'm like, well, why is this person always popping up? And oh well, just to let the Mashka know, yes, it is a woman, but it's not like I don't. I say I met this person in like middle school and I knew of them in high school, and then after that, I didn't talk to them ever since. And then all of a sudden, a few years later, this person just pops back up, and then now all of a sudden, I just like, I don't know, I'm not sure what the deal is, but and I guess you could say it might, I guess there can be a connection about.
Did I lose you?
Keep it at that and just wonder what your thoughts is on the key because I'm just like I'm kind of like clueless on what this is, but those videos did answer my question about what's been going on with me these past 9 months, and chances are it's going to continue on, I guess, until I get some type of revelation on what in the world is happening. And in the video, like you said, how to know if someone is. I don't know if the same thing is going on with the person that's continuously popping up in my mind, and I'm not sure. But and the video it did say how to know if someone's constantly thinking of you, and also why you can't stop thinking about this person. So I'm not sure what the deal is or anything like that. But maybe you can maybe you can kind of clear up what's going on because I'm just like, okay, why am I constantly thinking about some? I don't know. Yeah, no, it is funny, but I'm just saying, I can't shake it. I can't shake it. I can't shake it. And I prayed about it, like I said, and I'm like, okay, well, this is just something I'm just got to deal with, I guess, until I guess I get further information. Well, like I said, I could go deeper. If you want me to go deep, I can, but I will just leave it at that. And if you want to question some more, then that's fine. I'll just leave it at that. So you can go wherever you want to with the key. I just I just had to bring it out there because the videos and confirmation came out to me like this is what's going on with me. But this person is speaking carnally. But it was a carnal thing that brought it out. I guess it might have went back to the telepathy thing, but I was going somewhere with that, and it did roll over into this. So I just want to get your thoughts on that, and if you want me to speak about the further stuff that I guess can guess be kind of a connection, then we can go from there. But I'll just leave it at that.
To the key, I mean, what you shared there kind of connect the dots a little bit more for me with the earlier question. Now I give you a hint. Maybe you can reach out to that person and just so I have a feeling you must be quite tired because you've been truly running through my mind. Nah, don't do that, Aki. Don't do that. but you know, it might be a key. It might be, yeah. It might be a key that you have an attraction to this person. You might be attracted to this person, and when I'm not sure how old you are, Aki. Maybe a little younger than I am. When I was a younger man, and I wasn't serving Yahuah, and when somebody kept running through my mind that I couldn't shake, then I found a way to convey convey that to them, but it might be a key that you have an attraction to this person, and you being a single individual. I'm sure all of us have desires for a relationship, right? um, and uh, and so when you're in a place where you are single, and it might be that you are really attracted to somebody, I believe that that can be a difficult thing to shake unless you take the next step, which is to try to figure out where that person is also, whether or not there is an interest there. It could be that that person have an attraction to you also, but at this point it could be two. It could be a one way. It could be a one way street also. It's quite common. But what's amazing is that when the attraction is only it's a one way street. The person with the attraction, if the other person is not attracted, if that person who is attracted goes and says something to the person that they're attracted to, and then find that that person is not attracted to them, if you are a normal individual, which means that you're not like somebody from that movie, what they call it, what's one of them stalking movies, Burning Bed or Sleeping with the Enemy or something like that. If you're a normal individual, yeah, fatal attraction. If you're a normal individual, once you kind of talk to the person, you realize that they're not attracted to you, then it's amazing. I believe that Yahuah kind of make it that way to create healing. and allow you to move on. But once you realize that this person don't feel the same way, you kind of lose that attraction. You lose that attraction and you move on, you know. So, if it's something that you just can't shake, Aki, I think that a helpful thing, if you know this person from times past, I think a good thing to do for you, to help you to get the answers that's really needed right now, is to reach out to that person. See where they at, and you will know, and that will help you to get past this. Because if not, you know, you it'll continue to it'll continue to it'll continue to bug you, So I'd say take her to Starbucks. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so reach out to her. I think it's just a natural attraction. I think that's what it is, Aki. And it could be that she has an attraction to but she might be playing maybe she's not really showing it. Maybe she is communicating something that keeps you attracted. It might be the case, but you'll never know until you say something. And so I encourage you to, and it can be I know for me, growing up I was always shy, and it wasn't easy. While it seemed easy for some guys to just start talking to a girl, and seem easy to them, to me, I would be washing in cold sweats, I'd be scared out my mind, So whatever it is, if there is some fear, kind of get over it and ask, But if you don't, you might continue to kind of live a fantasy, so to speak. I hope that helped, but I do think that it's something that comes naturally, and it's a natural attraction. But you'll only know if it's a two-way street if you say something. All right.
Oh. Okay. All right. Well, okay, Keith. I appreciate that. All right. No, it's fine. I was never attracted to this person, but I'm just saying. This is the thing. This person's not even in the same state as me or anything like that. I think that's the twist. That's the twist about it, because this was random. This was just like I guess you could say the time it happened. I guess you could say. How can I say it? It was like on social. I was on social media. All right. I guess you say Instagram to be exact. And then all of a sudden, it's like, why all of a sudden there's this person? Do I have this sudden attraction to this person? It was just a random attraction. I didn't know what to think about it. It was kind of like a surprise that just popped up at me out of nowhere. It wasn't no provocative picture, nothing like that. It was just this person I guess you could say, just popped up. I mean, that's why I'm like, and just like in the video, that person said, you might know the person's name, but you might not know them from a hole in the wall. And that's true. I don't know this person from a hole in the wall. This person was just, like I said, I knew this person from middle school, and then after that, everything just went blank. And then this person ended up befriending me on social media, which I'm not on social media like that no more. And all of a sudden, I guess you could say the surprise box opened up like this random attraction. I'm like, okay, where's this coming from, and why is this appearing like this? And I was never thinking about this person at all. But that's just how it happened. So, and I guess probably another time I'll do a part 2 on how deeper it gets. Anyway, but that's it. I'm not sure where she may be. I don't even know if she knows of Yahuah or anything like that. But all I know is that's just what the case was. So that's the only reason why I brought it up, because that's what that's what it was. Anyway, I'll let it go, and shalom to you.
It's all good, but I want you to have some peace in that, Aki. And attractions do happen like that. And you know what's amazing too? You have people who maybe you could say they hated each other at one point in their lives, or maybe even as kids growing up they couldn't stand each other, and then later on in life they just suddenly gain this attraction to each other, and that happens. You can gain an attraction to somebody out of nowhere, And I saw my wife for the first time. I was working at 7-Eleven and I saw her, and immediately, I just knew that I wanted her to be my wife. Like, immediately. I didn't know her, didn't know nothing about her. I just knew I wanted her to be my wife. And so the first time I saw her, and I couldn't wait to see her the second time. The second time I saw her, I said something to her, attractions do happen like that, and so I think it's just an attraction, and it can happen. You see, so as long as it's not your imagination running away with you, Aki, yeah, attractions do happen. I think it's just an attraction, Aki. All right. Again, as far as the whole telepathy thing, I don't know enough to speak on it. I do know that the way that we're created, it is a fact that we have this connection to each other, and to creation. We really do. That's not some out of this world kind of saying or anything like that, but we do. We came from the earth. We have a connection to the earth. We have a connection to creation, you see. And we have that connection to each other, you see. So, and attractions do happen. At some point I did eventually. Yeah. Yes. But it can happen. It can happen, Aki. All right. Well, Mashpaka, any other comments or questions? We're not going to go to Galatians this evening. Do appreciate all the comments and questions and so on, family. We're not going to go to Galatians on this evening. Let me just check YouTube, see if we have any questions there. All right. To the Kud Sharon and the Kud Al Yashba, Shalom. Shalom Mashpaka to everyone. Shalom. All right. Yes, indeed. Okay. Well, it seems as if there are no other comments or questions, and so we're going to. I think we're going to close out this evening, which is a little earlier than normal, but we're gonna go ahead and close out on this evening. So once again, family, it is my hope that our fellowship this evening has been a barakah to you. I want to say praise Yahuah for that word that Keith Yahuah brought to us through Keith on this evening. Truly a barakah, and all of the questions and conversations indeed was a barakah. And so, family, as always, appreciate you, love you, praise Yahuah for you, and I just pray that Yahuah would just continue to barak and to strengthen us and to help us to grow even closer and closer together, and in him may Yahuah continue to awaken his people. We're gonna close.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead, Aki.
Yes. The key that had the problem with the guy. I haven't heard from him. Have you heard anything from him? He had a problem. I guess he was fighting and the guy knocked him down.
Yeah, yeah. I
Is
we
is he in the room?
No, he is not. He is not in the room. I do not have his contact information, and I have not heard from him. I'm glad that you brought that up, Aki. I haven't heard from him. I don't have his contact information. But you brought it up, and it's good that you did. And I believe that Yahuwah, nothing is by coincidence. Yahuwah brings him to mind, I believe, for a reason. And so we want to pray for our Aki.
Absolutely.
Yes. Was that a key, John? Was that a key? That wasn't a key, John, right? I don't think it was a key, John. William. That's right, William. Yes. Yeah, we haven't heard from him. But we'll continue to pray for our Aki. Prayerfully, all is well with him, and it's maybe another reason why we haven't heard from him. But Toda Rabbah. Yes. Ah. Praise Yahuwah. All right. There was something here written. I want to see if I can get it real quick. My thing here is I can slash it on Yahuwah. Then it would be an awesome time to introduce her to Yahuwah. It may be an assignment for you from Yahuwah. Indeed. Praise Yahuwah. Yes, certainly true. Certainly true. Akut Yanat. Certainly true. Praise Yahuwah. All right, so family, as we close out on this evening, we want to pray for Aki William. We also, and I just, Yahuwah has been doing some amazing things in the life of Aki Yahakab and Akut Sharia. And I praise Yahuwah for that. That's the couple that's they've been fellowshipping with us. I believe they've been listening to the broadcast via YouTube for probably about a year now, but it's only been a few months since they started joining the live fellowship, if I recall correctly. But that's the family who their children were taken from them. Some of their children, they've been going through a tough time, but Yahuwah is doing amazing things, turning things around in their lives. They lost their home. They were homeless. Now Yahuwah is continue to provide for them in, amazing ways. They were without employment. And Yahuwah has barak them. They have better employment and better employment now, probably great employment. Yahuwah has just been doing some amazing things in their life, and I believe it's important. A lot of times we pray and we ask Yahuwah for stuff, but it is also important to go back and say Toda Yahuwah. Oftentimes if we're not careful, we can be guilty of not being thankful enough, a lack of gratitude, And so I just want to say Toda Yahuwah for what you continue to do in the life of in the lives of Aki Yahakab, Akut Sharia, and they continue to seek Yahuwah for the return of their children. And we continue to ask Yahuwah to favor them in that. Also, we praise Yahuwah for what he continued to do in our Aki Yaram Yahu, how he continued to work in his life in Akut Yolanda, and keeping them and Akut Vernice strengthened, We praise Yahuah for all that he continued to do in the life of all of our mashpaka. And there are times when we're going through some things and it is difficult. We have to face some difficult things. But no matter how difficult it is, no matter how challenging the battle, be reminded that you're not in it by yourself, that Yahuah is right there with you. And sometimes while you're going through it, it seems like it just can't get any worse, and it seems as if there is no way out. But Yahuah always brings us through. And in an amazing way, sometimes after not realizing that we've been brought through, he'll cause us to remember, or he'll cause us to become aware that we're no longer in that situation that we thought was going to destroy us. But in fact, he has brought us through, he's delivered us, and things are so much different than they were before. And so that's the Yahuah that we serve. He is committed to his people, and he does not leave us alone. You see, he is to us, he is a friend that sticks closer than a brother, and so we give him praise, honor, and esteem for who he is. Hallelujah. May Yahuah continue to barak all of our family, those going through difficult times, and we barak Yahuah for all of his deliverance, all that he has done in our lives, for his provision, for him keeping our minds, our health, our bodies, for all of his favor that he has bestowed upon us. We say praise Yahuah, Tuda Yahuah, praise Yahuah. And we Tuda Yahuah also for continuing to hear our cry concerning the awakening of our people. And so may Yahuah be esteemed. Halal hu Yahuah. We praise Yahuah. I'm going to prepare here, Mashpaka, to close out on this evening. I just want to give Yahuah praise for all that he does. Halal hu Yahuah. Praise Yahuah. Praises to Yahuah. Abba Yahuah, we thank and praise you for yet another opportunity where we can come together, reflect on you, reflect on your word, learn of you, learn from you, and be encouraged by you. We praise you, Father, for your word this evening, for your encouragement, for your reminders, for your strength. Hallelujah. May you continue to barak us as we seek you. May you continue to lead us and to guide us. May we not lean on our own understanding, Yahuah, but in all our ways, help us to acknowledge you. You promised that you would direct our path if we would only do so. And so, continue to watch over your people, to protect our households. Father, to protect us as we travel the streets. Abba Yahuah, to keep our families safe. Father, to drive away the curses from us, to make us whole, to make us renewed, and to make us set apart unto you, Yahuah. I pray, Father, that you would be merciful to us, merciful, Yahuah, and that your love would be upon us. Halal hu Yahuah. Praise Yahuah. And so we barak your great name, Father. Be with us in this week, in all that we do. Help us, help our minds to be stayed on you, Abba. Do this, we pray, in Yahusha's name. Amen. Halal hu Yahuah. Mashpaka, love you all, appreciate you, and truly, truly, may Yahuah barak you. May he barak you and keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you and show favor unto you. May Yahuah lift up his countenance upon you and give you his shalom. May the name of Yahuah be upon you. Halal hu Yahuah. Praise Yahuah. Yes, indeed. And so, family, we will be meeting for Rob Todaki. We will be meeting for Rob. What's wrong, baby? Mommy's upstairs, I think, now. And so we will be meeting for Rob this coming Wednesday evening, Mashpaka, 7:30. And looking forward for those who are able to join us. Looking forward to see you then. Lela Tub to you, family. Much ahab to you. And Yahuah willing, we'll be seeing you soon. Shalom. And Shabua Tub. Have a good week. A great week. Allahu Yahuah. Shalom. Shalom. Shalom, family.